Okay, everybody, let's wrap this up. Housekeeping video for week 8. Day 1, participation, like I said in the video, I want you to email me and tell me what's one difference between using algebra tiles in your classroom and using algebra blocks. It can be a benefit or a detriment to either one, or just something you see is different between them. Okay, just send me an email that tells me what that is. Your homework for day 1 is going to be the adding labs for algebra blocks. I'll load those up along with a bunch of the mini basic mats, so that, well, I'll load one and you can print or whatever, as many of those as you want. So I'm going to put those on. Then participation for day 2, Day 2 is email me to tell me what the subtraction operation means physically when you're working with algebra blocks. So we mentioned it, I said the words several times in the video. What the heck is physically happening with your algebra blocks whenever you're doing the subtraction operation? There's a particular action that is happening, and you got to be able to do it. It's different than whenever you're adding. Okay, so your adding operation and your subtraction operation look different. So physically, what's happening to those algebra blocks? And you've got 2 homeworks from this day. Sorry, we just did a lot. So subtracting labs and multiplying labs. I may, if I get the hankering, I may subtract or circle particular problems. Those particular problems would be the ones you need to do. Then you wouldn't have to do the entire stinking labs because they do get a little bit long. So maybe I'll do that. Okay. As you're looking at these labs, some things to notice is that well, all of your units are green. I think I've got some really clean copies here, so they should scan nicely, so it should be easy to see. But hopefully you can tell there's a difference here between these pieces and these pieces. Okay, so these ones are x squares, these ones are bigger, these pieces are bigger, and they're even darker, right? So those make them y squares. Okay, and these tall guys here are darker than this little guy here. So I would say that this problem is 3x squares plus 2y's. Okay, so be a little bit careful about what variable is being represented. Also, this one, there are some of them in there, and notice it's kind of a medium color, but the true giveaway that this is x times y is that its width and its length are not the same. Okay, this is y squared, this is x squared, this is xy. So try to be as careful with that as you possibly can as you're doing things like this. But I've told students before, if you're drawing and you're not sure that you're going to get your point across to me, then label your drawing. Make sure I know, write on here x squared, so I know what that is. Write on here y squared. That way, whatever you label it, I'll know that's what you intended it to be. So watch out for that. Okay, I meant to give you this project last week, and it slipped my mind. I had already done the housekeeping video, and then I went, oh, I really want to give them this. So here you go. Here's your project, number 3. Create a problem similar to the seesaw or balance logic problems that we did last week. So remember these ones, the balance logic used little blocks, little centimeter cubes. The seesaw used little robots. So make something similar to that, but I want you to use an original idea for what your what's going to be your unknown. So on the seesaws, we use those little hexagons and squares and triangles. So you can't use hexagons and squares and triangles, but maybe you can use something else in your daily life to act as your unknown. But the trick to it is, it doesn't have to be fancy, it doesn't have to be crazy. It needs to be some kind of balance so that it's an equation, and you need to be able to solve it. Make up one problem. It doesn't have to be a lot of them, just one problem. And the trick is that you need to attach an explanation as if you were talking to a child for what is happening in the problem, and tell me what your solution is as if you were talking to a child. So work us through it, write it out, whatever. I'm going to give you some time for this project because You know, first of all, it's late from me giving it to you. And second of all, you have what next week? A test. So this will be due the Monday after exam 2. So you've got a little bit of time on that to brush up on that. Okay, so don't stress out about this before the exam 2. And then here's test 2. I put it at the bottom. I know it's starting to loom over us. That is during week 9, and just like with the last test, I will have it to your testing center on the Monday of week 9, so that you can go in anytime between Monday and Friday and take your test. I will tell them to pick it up at the end of week 9, so on the Friday there. So that is next week. So again, if you are testing in Commerce, no worries. They'll just have one with your name on it. If you are testing somewhere else, I'm assuming there's one of you in Kaufman, 2 of you in Navarro at Corsicana. I'm assuming you're using the same testing center because nobody has contacted me saying they're doing anything different. So if you're going to one of those other testing centers, please, please, please make sure you've set up your appointment for test 2 so that you're ready to go. And whenever I send them over, they know that you're coming and they expect the exam and they know what to do there. Okay? So you've set up your appointments. For all of the tests, remember please that you need to bring a picture ID so that they can make sure of who you are. You're always welcome to use a calculator. That's not a problem. So be sure you got all that stuff. Okay? Set up and ready to go. All right. I think that's it for week 8. Good luck, and we'll see you soon. Yay. Oh, and I will send out a test review this week, so you'll see it. It's coming your way. All right, thanks. Have a good week.